What's up, everybody? Got my test shot in. Hope you all got your test shots. Let's see here. What does this mean? Who's driving the bus? What's up, Vonnie? Here it is. Biolanti says, hey, y'all. Hope everybody is doing well and getting their Alithia wave of Mythic Legions test shots delivered. May the force be with you, Nicto. What's up, Cyber Rat? Hey, Renato. What's going on, dude? Rick Jones. Now sell it for 500. I actually joked in the Cabal. Somebody was like, you should paint it some color. And I was like, oh, I already sold it for 400. We're going to talk about that. 2 alders just sold for 500. One was 400, one was 450. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound all right? I got a poll here. One second here. I'm going to put up a poll. One second. Ask. All right, there you go. Are you into test shots? Let's see who's into test shots. So this is like the reason why I did this. And actually, is anybody on Facebook? The reason why I did this kind of impromptu, I wasn't really planning to go live, and I don't have a slideshow or like a lot planned really. But I wanted to try to simultaneously stream it in Facebook. Oh, okay. Thank you, Vonnie, for clarifying. Went right over my head. So let me see if we're in Facebook. I should just check. Yeah, okay. We're there. Cool. All right, let me close that so it doesn't freak me out. Yeah. So Edgardo picked up Alf today, and so awesome. And I agree. It's so far my favorite figure of the year. And I just got Grimsword and Warduke, and I still think I like Alf better. Way too late. Yeah. Go to bed. Go to bed in Europe. Way too late. Yeah, okay, cool. Renato's watching through Facebook. Yeah, I can see your Facebook. Yeah, cool. Sweet. It's good to know, everybody. It's working. And yeah, so I wasn't really planning to go live, and so I thought what we could talk about was an in-stock sale. I was able to pick up 2 figures. So going into it, my plan was to basically push myself to grab 2, which is like breaks my rules. But here's the thing. I wasn't like super crazy committed to like, okay, I gotta have an Alithia wave figure. I really need to have this thing in hand. And there wasn't any particular one where I was like, I gotta get a test shot. Like, I didn't care that much if I got them. I literally have, this is my 2nd test shot that I own. I'm not that into them. They're cool. I think they look great. It's just like it's like a prioritizing thing. Like I can't collect them. They're expensive. Even just the regular price is expensive. And it's just like, I'd rather put that money into figures, like full factory figures. So my goal, as a lot of people know, is to get the Cosmic Legions test shots and to hopefully get at least one for myself for a review. And then the community has already said they're going to try to help me, loan me some figures to do reviews on. So my goal was to prep up for the Cosmic Legion sale, to push myself to do as, to get a figure as fast as I can. And so I tried to go for 2. So I checked with Trevor to see if he wanted me to try to get him anything. And he definitely wanted to get his Artemis Silver Core 2. Like, that was his main thing. And he's like, if you can get me Alithia, go for it. I'd appreciate it. But he wanted to make sure that he wasn't like, tripping over himself trying to get 2 figures just to like guarantee that one he really wanted. So like, all right, I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to see if I can nail 2. And my strategy worked. I was able to grab 2. And I have kind of a complex strategy that I use where I open up multiple tabs and then like jump across the tabs and add them to cart. And I did use a gift card as some of you probably already know, and that worked out really well. So yeah, I was successful there. For Cosmic, I want to only go for one though. Let's see here. Let's check the chat. Oh wow! So Joe got a moose, then went back and got wings. Yeah, more expensive but less stress. Wow, that's impressive that you were able to get one, finish, go back. I mean, the wings, I could tell the wings were, the wings and the hand packs, they didn't instantly sell out, but yeah. So Cyber Rat's Warduke is in the process of shipping, process of payment. Oh, that's interesting. Rob collects vinyl, and the test shots remind him of when they sell test pressings. I like very casually collect vinyl. I collect vinyl in that, like, I just, I get a few here and there from my favorite bands, but I'm not that into it. What's up, Texas 1911? All right, Biolanti. I managed to grab 2 as well. Went for Lord Bardrick and saw Artemis 2 was still in stock, so I grabbed her 2. Scared about the Cosmic sale. Yeah, me too. Definitely going to be a bloodbath. Like Fez in that 70s show. Left shoe, you said right click, right click. I don't really remember that episode, but I watched the first episode of that 90s show recently. Where you been checking, Nick Doe? Targets and stuff? Or are you going to be checking like comic shops and whatnot? So Laura is asking, where's Larry and Chris? And I wanted to go solo tonight just to test some things out. And because this wasn't really planned, so I didn't want to bother them. But if they're around, if they end up watching and want to jump on, they're welcome to. Because this seems to be working. It's live in Facebook. It's live on YouTube. But, I thought I would just go solo for once and see how it goes. Yeah, I'm kind of like I don't have to work, but I'm going to be busy. I'll be busy on the Cosmic day. But interested in getting the Deluxe Goblin test shot. And same thing for me. That's what I'm really like. I'm not blowing my money on these. I'm going to save my money for the extra Furious 4 figures. Target always. Okay, cool. Braku Prime just got done messing around with Bishop. How's your shoulders? I've seen a lot of people with some tight shoulders on that Bishop figure. Traded Legions for Hot Toys. I'm not sure who that is. If you're on Facebook anonymous, if you didn't like connect your account, just like maybe put your name, like who it is, maybe. Hey Len. Len, check it out, dude. Representing. When is the Headless Horseman up? So that one is this weekend, right? That's day after tomorrow. So the Headless Horseman, the Deluxe Legion builders, and these are all all test shots, and the test shots of the convention exclusives are this weekend, and then so that's the fourth, yeah, and then the 11th is the Cosmic Legions. And then the 18th is that. So that's it for test shots. And then the 18th will be the actual standard figures for the con exclusives, the Furious 4 and the Unknown one. Okay, so here's a question. Me too. Furious and some Unknown. Do you think those will be easy and available? I do. If you're talking about not the test shots, but on the 18th, when the regular standard releases of those figures go up, yes, I do think that they're going to be like, they may sell out in a few hours or, you know, a day, or it's not going to last weeks or anything like that. But I think if you're there and you're ready, like you don't have to like get one checkout and then come back and hope for another or any of that stuff. Just like, you know, get what you need, check out, and you'll be fine as long as you're, you know, there early. And you never know, it could last. It could last a day, it could last a couple hours. Wow. 6 of each con figures. That's, I guess if you don't have any yet, that's probably about what I would get. I think I'm gonna get 2 more of each personally, but um Braku update on his bishop. So no complaints about the shoulders, but I do not like the way he handles the main rifle. Yeah, I think so too, Caleb. I think that's going to be no problems there. These are like a large production. I don't know how large it is, but it's like a, you know, it's a production run of figures, of standard release figures. It's not, oh, the standard rifle. Okay, it's not it's not going to be 20 of each. Good question. Badass reviews. How much you think the Horseman test shot will be, Bill? If you so first, let me answer that question first. I think it's going to be maybe 200, 180, somewhere in there. I mean, it was $120, right? So I think it's going to be over 150. I think it's going to be between 150 and 200, maybe 200. Bill, if you can go for the Horseman for me, I can try to get a cosmic one for you in case you want. I may be driving to Orlando tomorrow. We'll see. Like, we'll see. Maybe message me on IG, okay? Because I'm not sure if I'll be available for that, but we'll see. Yeah, I agree. The Unknown One armor is nicely painted. It's really nice. Hey, Dave, have you checked your Instagram account lately? I feel like there was some possible hackage going on there. But yeah, that's a good 4, 4, and 2. That's yeah. So this is great advice right here from Joseph. On Jonathan's live stream during the event, he got, so what happened? He went for Alithia and struck out, and then he went back in, and I think he didn't get anything initially, but then he kept refreshing. And you know, when they cancel orders, if somebody orders like 2 of something or whatever, and they cancel them right away, they go back up. So over the course of that half hour or hour after the sale, if you were refreshing the page, you would see some things come back and you'd have the opportunity to purchase them. So that's a good strategy. Like if you strike out, hang on that page for a while. Like hang out there and just refresh for like an hour. And yeah, like you might be able to grab something. It might not be your first choice, you know, but if they all sell out instantaneously and then you get something decent, like maybe you could trade for what you wanted. Um Facebook user. What's up? I don't know who. So there's a thing where if you don't connect your Facebook account, it won't tell me who you are. So you might need to you know, after you say what's up, just kind of say who it is that's talking. They said the unknown. Oh, did they say the price? For the Unknown One standard release, it's 45. For the test shot, I don't know. 45 for the Unknown One standard release on the 18th, and $37 for the Furious Fours. And yeah. Is that confirmed, Nikto? Okay, that sounds like okay. That's confirmed. $200 for the Horseman. I didn't hear that. Okay, got it. All right, I'm falling behind on stuff. Okay, let's pull up some eBay stuff and talk about this. Talk about the sales that happened today. I am not planning to come to ZoloCon. It's a bit of a hike. I'd love to though. That looks like a really fun one. All right. So I want to pull up eBay. This was on the thumbnail. Let me refresh it, see if anything else came up. And I want to talk a little bit about the aftermarket prices right now, which are a little crazy. So earlier today, are these test? Hold on. Let's talk test shots. Hang on a second. Okay. All right. So far there have been, I think this was yesterday, a Varg and a Decebalus sold. Now these are not necessarily the prices. They were best offer accepted, and you can look them up. There's some tools you can use to look up what the best offer accepted was. Both of those were 400, and I'll show you that in a minute. This Alder was listed along with, I think it's still up, but it was listed by the same seller along with a Farius, I think. And this was $1,000 initially. This is the one that somebody posted in the Cabal. They listed it as $1,000. They must have changed the price and then accepted a best offer, because if you look up what they accepted it as, it was $400. And then like shortly after that, this one went up and sold immediately for $450. This other Alder. So, there could always be, there always could be like shenanigans going on where people are like buying their own stuff to drive up prices or whatever. Obviously, there's so few of these that it's tough to say if that kind of thing is going to be really happening. But the prices are crazy. And let me just show you how I can confirm. So one way you can confirm what the best offer prices were is if you go into your eBay account and you go in to the seller dashboard and click on research. And I didn't even know about this till today because I shared my tool that I use, and then Toybro let me know that was a thing, and I had no clue. I assumed that since you can't see them on the sales that you couldn't see them on eBay. But yeah, so you can do it right in eBay if you have, the seller dashboard. Or you can use this site. It's like a trading card site, and it's 130point.com. And you just put in a search term, so Mythic Legions test shot. And then this will show you the results. It'll show you what the original price was and then what the best offer was. So there's those two, Decebalus 400 and Varg 400. Those were earlier today or last night, I think they sold. And then today, this Alder that was listed for 1,000, then dropped to 500 and then sold for 405. And then this Alder that was sold shortly after for 450. But if you go back and you look generally at test shot prices, they're not usually that high. Like there's a Fury Clan Orc 250. That's pretty high. I mean, Torg and Redfin for 350 is pretty high, it seems to me. But 300, 280, 200, right? Like Arethyr is a special case because I think that's like a very big focus for some people, but they're not usually selling for 400, especially like right away. And I think what's happening here is that you have you have a certain very narrow, very small little segment of the collecting community that is all in on test shots. Like I think there's, there might be a handful of people that are 100% complete on test shots. And that is a very small customer base, but it's a very motivated customer base. And they may just be grabbing the first ones they see to just lock them in and just complete their sets, right? And at some point, those guys, like 2 alders just sold. Let's say there's only 2 of those guys or like 3 of those guys. The demand for alder is suddenly going to dry up, and nobody out there is going to be paying that kind of money. Like the demand of people looking to complete their sets and buy alder as like this thing that they need to complete a set is very, very small. So I think eventually what happens is like that kind of demand dries up and it just becomes the regular, like this stuff, right? Like this regular demand for these things. That's my take. That's my theory. But what do you all think of that theory? That is too much money. $500 for a test shot. I'd rather pre-order Cosmic Legions all in. Yeah, I completely agree. The prices are absurd. But I'm just trying to like rationalize and figure out why they're going for that much and whether or not that's going to be the price, because I think they're going to come way down. So taking advantage of idiots is supported. Wait, I lost that one. So taking advantage of idiots is supported in this community. I don't support this at all. I don't support buying a figure for the sole purpose of flipping it. I'm just trying to help people understand what's going on. Yeah, way too much money for sure. Yeah, I totally agree. But I also think that some people are assuming that this is the start. This is the starting price, $400. And if I sit on my figure, it's going to be $1,000 because it started at $400. It's not the case. It's going to go down, not up. Yeah, there's a definite spike in interest. People are kind of hyped up about it, right? What's up, David? We had a great stream on Monday. It was awesome on the Legions Lounge. Everybody should check that replay out. It was really fun. It was one of the most fun live streams I've had in a long time. Yeah, this, like, you can't blame the whole community for stuff, yeah. And it happens, like, it's the nature of the beast. If a company is going to put out something that's limited to 20, I don't know how many there were, 20 maybe, right? In the past, it's been 20. Like, if a company's going to put stuff out like that, it's inevitably going to happen, right? Like, so trying to like go on some kind of crusade to, I don't know, like to make it stop or something like that, it's just not going to happen. But at the same time, like, I am torn sometimes. Like when I do like a video, like the last one I did, like a recorded video, and I'm like trying to help my friends get a better shot at beating the scalpers to these things. Like, it's a tough decision for me because it's like, in turn, am I just helping more scalpers get it? And am I just like increasing the competition with my advice like that and my strategies? Oh, here's a deal. I have a Varg test shot mint in box. Nice. Yours came in a box. I'm selling it cheap, $4,000. Who wants it? Yeah, I mean, it's the nature of the beast on something like this. And I think like a lot of people are like upset when somebody buys a figure merely to sell it. But the reality is, if 20 people were buying it to just keep, you have the same little slim chance of getting it either way, you know? Like, my philosophy is I don't complain too much about scalpers because I usually am able to beat them and get what I want. Checking in on the chat a little bit here. But yeah, this 130point.com can be really handy if you're trying to do research, especially if you're shopping for something. If you're shopping and you're trying to figure out, you know, you see all these like sold listings and they look really high, Even sometimes, like, let me go back here. Sometimes, like these, right? Like sometimes it shows a sold listing and there's like a line through it. None of these are showing the line. Sometimes there's a sold listing and it'll show a line through it. And you know the offer was accepted that was lower than whatever that is. Sometimes like these, there's no line through it and it looks like it sold for 500, but it actually sold for less. So having these tools to be able to look up prices can be really handy, especially if you're shopping. For something like, you know, like expensive, it's you can save a lot of money by figuring out what people are paying for things. I think it's really cool, Caleb. And I'm going to pull this down for a minute because I think I'm done with the eBay screen for now. That'll go back up in a minute. Yeah, I think it's really cool that they did the soft goods in gray. So yeah. So I mean his fur. Do I? Let me see. Let's compare. I have my Baron Swoligar, but I mean that's pretty close. I think the test shot might be slightly darker. Um, but the cape was purple, so you know now it's gray. And then even the other characters, like all the characters, they got gray cloth goods this time so that they would match. And I think they're getting a head start so that when things like the wizards, the test shots for the wizards come out, like it would make almost no sense to do those test shots if they don't have their cloth goods, right? Um, but yeah, so the reason why I went for Baron was because of how much unique sculpture is on him, which is hilarious because then right away they announced a figure that has a reuse of his collar, which up until that was unique. But he does have a lot of unique and very very intricate and detailed sculpture work going on. Um, yeah, the fur was a grayish silver. It's pure sculpt, right? That's all you can appreciate. I mean, the articulation too, but like the main thing with the test shots is it's all about the sculpture. Oh, you have Xylona, nice. Yeah. What will we ever get third party lower torsos so I can quit buying extra mythics for legs and by lower torso do you mean the hips? Because the hips, the elbows, and the knees are off limits for the third parties sellers. Oh, hey, hold on a second. Where was this? I totally missed this. That was way earlier. What? Where is that? Hey, Nikto, I just saw your, or maybe it was later. Oh, okay, it's later. All right. I'll come to your thing. I thought I missed a super chat. Yeah. So the certain things are off limits. That's why you're not going to see hips. If you're asking about hips, that's why. And then let me jump to Nikto here. $5 super chat. Gotta go. Have a good night, y'all. See you on the battlefield Saturday. Good hunting. Thank you, Nikto. I wish I had caught that. I hope you didn't leave before I caught that. But yes, thank you so much, man. I thought about Baron, but the picture didn't do it justice. Then I saw your post of him and kicked myself for not trying. Um, None of those pictures do any of those figures justice. No offense to whoever took them, but you know those aren't Trevor shots. Those are like on the table at the studio, like pretty quickly shot. Um, so you really have to have somewhat of an understanding of them going into it to like imagine what they're gonna look like in hand. And geared up too. Like you gotta like Varg in the picture, the wings are off and all that stuff. You gotta imagine what he's gonna look like with all that. Like he's a gargoyle, right? Like as a test shot, Varg is a gargoyle. Vargoyle. Oh, okay. Eric's in the Facebook chat. I moved on from the Rhaegor test shot and picked up the new deluxe Hot Toys Mando with the funds. Wow. I'm waiting on mine. I ordered that thing. The best car with the shiny armor. I have that on order. I'm waiting on that thing. So yeah, the hips, the legs, some parts of the legs they can do, but the part with the knees they cannot. So that would be technically like the upper leg. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, cool. Vargoyle. And this is, they've said this is why why they do them in the gray. It's so that they can better see the sculpture. Oh, dude, that's a bummer. Australian internet super slow, so I can't get these types of drops. That's frustrating, dude. Hey, Nate's in the house. Yeah, I mean, that's good of you. Like, I encourage anyone who's sort of tempted to grab it just to trade or just to get it so that they can like flip it or whatever to just let somebody else grab it. Absolutely. Um, I think they chose those parts for the opposite reason because they're the movable parts. They're like the core technical part of the figure, and they're not specific, right? Like they're almost the most generic part of all the figures because they're shared across every single figure. So it forces people to buy figures. Like they don't want to just say, hey, everybody, just go make figures on our base and just like essentially like what's going to happen if people are just like 3D sculpting the elbows and the knees, they're just going to be recreating the exact item. They're just going to be like facsimileing. Is that a word? It's going to be making just like straight copies of them and not getting creative with the torsos and the heads and the armors and stuff. Sorry, Caleb. We somebody asked if the customizers are going to start doing hips like the hips and things that customizers don't do. Toodaloo, Alberto. We're going to get into some toy news in a minute. So the thing is, like, people aren't just straight copying the heads. They're making their own original character heads, right? If somebody was going to straight copy the head, they're not going to stand for that. They're not just casting. That's one of the rules too, is you can't just straight up cast some of their stuff. All right. Let me see what else we got on my list here. Later, Reynolds. Okay. Do you ever think they'll do Vitruvian hack style blanks for customizers? They've talked about it in the past, and they've talked about selling parts. I think it's tough to schedule in stuff like that. I don't think it's going to sell as gangbusters as all this other stuff. So I think it's tough for them to like schedule it in. And I think for them, they've kind of settled into saying, hey, the Legion builders, the $25 Legion builders, that's our version of blanks. But it's an interesting thought. All right. So I wanted to bring up this one. Mezco Toys Fair, little shifting conversation here. Um, so they're doing it a little differently this year. They're spreading it out across 3 weeks. You're going to have it next week, 7th to the 9th, the week after that, the 14th to the 16th, and then you're going to have the 21st to the 23rd. And on the middle day, I guess, of those events, which are the Wednesdays. Those are the Wednesdays, right? The 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd. They're going to have exclusives. The 1 week that's going to have a 112 exclusive is going to be February 8th. And they give hints later on of what these things are going to be. So the 8th is going to be a 112. The 15th is going to be a Living Dead doll. And then the 22nd, I think, is going to be their large, I don't remember how big, maybe like 16 inches or something like that. Their huge Godzilla figure. And then here's the clues. Let's see. So on each day, they give a clues. So on the 7th, head to the Penny Arcade and see what the hoodlums at Mezco have been up to. And if you recall, the 7th or the 8th is going to be a 112 figure. So hoodlums makes me think we're looking at Hood's figure. So probably the next Hood's figure for that one. And then that's it for the 112. I assume that'll be the single 112 exclusive. And there's all sorts of games, and they're going to do reveals of like future figures and stuff. And then, so reveals at 1 and 2 p.m. Looks like 2 reveals a day. Crazy amounts of giveaways. And then, yeah, so we don't really have to worry about the other ones in terms of the clues, because it's like a Living Dead doll and then I think the Godzilla figure. And then, yeah, we're talking dolls here, everybody. We're talking dolls. And then the other thing that was kind of interesting was the list somewhere in here. Somewhere on one of these is the 89 Batman as a giveaway prize. Or it was. Is it still there? Maybe it's gone. Maybe they took it off. It was somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. A DC Comics prize pack containing Batman 1989 edition, Superman Man of Steel edition, and Harley Quinn Deluxe edition. And then same thing. So there's 2 prize packs that include 89 Batman. So a lot of people are speculating that 89 Batman might be coming soon. But that's Mezco Toys Fair. Over the next 3 weeks, you're going to have some fun Mezco things. I do enjoy the way they do their reveals. I like a lot of people, I wish they would communicate better. And of course, they're like so behind on some figures, but I do enjoy these kinds of events that they do. They're a lot of fun. Checking back in with the chat here. Oh, interesting. People are talking about tributes. Scareglow homage on the new skeleton torso in glow in the dark. Yeah, that'd be cool. But you got to remember, like, anything on the new stuff is going to have tributes that uses those parts after that new stuff comes out. So if we're talking about a Scareglow tribute on the new Necronominus wave pieces, then we're talking at the soonest the 2024 stuff. Like this year we could see Buzz Off. That's my hope. Because of the wings. That will be out. Man, I'm still waiting for my Mezco Conan. It just hasn't shipped yet. And it's like, it feels like I'm the last guy to get the shipping notification on the Mezco Conan the Conqueror. That's an interesting question. Will Four Horsemen ever do another homage other than Masters of the Universe? I think licensing makes things complicated. They obviously have had this special relationship with Mattel over the years. But they did a Warduke homage, right? They've done homages to actual people. So, yeah, I think they'll do other ones. And the new PowerCon tribute didn't seem like a tribute. Hopefully not the case. It sounds like a new character. The way they've been talking, it sounds like that one's a new character. Ah, thanks, Ryan. We're in it together. We're waiting together for that Batman, for that Mezco Conan. Well, like I said, I think Buzz Off is going to be one. Yeah, but Curtis, Mezco Conan is less than 33% cloth goods. So it's technically not a doll. Alberto asks, Bill, do you think Mezco Conan would look better with Death Dealer's double joints? Look better? No. Articulate better? Yes. Mezco Lord of the Rings is my dream as well. I have a few dreams for Mezco, Star Wars being one of them. Lord of the Rings would be great. I think I had a good one the other day. What the heck? Oh, Sherlock Holmes would be like right up Mezco's alley. I guess you're right because I was thinking about the original Conan because I was thinking shirtless, but yeah, if he's wearing that shirt, I guess it's like half, right? It's like 50%. My dream for Mezco is to release stuff. They've actually been releasing a lot lately, but yeah, I know the old stuff that needs to come out for sure. Yeah, Mezco Indiana Jones. I know and then Nate also said that. I know I so there was an interview ages ago with Mez where he expressed his two most like his grail lines to get licenses for. And at the point he had gotten one already, which was The Dark Knight Returns, and the other one that his grail line that he really really wants someday was Indiana Jones. So, you know what comes with if you get the Lucasfilm connection, you know what comes with that too. Star Wars homage, yeah. Good luck with Disney on that. I mean, in some ways they are doing Star Wars homages already. Like those Sphexians are straight up Geonosians. And then let's go into the next piece of news here. D13 with the biblical adventures. I don't know how this is going to come up. Damn it. They're way too small. This ain't looking great on here. We'll just hold it up like this. John the Baptist. You have multiple different Jesus figures. This one is like the icon. Like my mother-in-law is Greek Orthodox, and she has all these icons in her house. That's kind of like that one. But this is D13. These are 6-inch. They're almost like Mezco. These are dolls, Curtis. Almost like Mezco style figures. They're gonna have like. Does he have a picture of the bodies? No. They're gonna have like double elbows and like super articulation. They're like import style bodies under there. And his Kickstarter is starting February 21st. It's gonna be a big month for Kickstarters. But yeah, so if you go over to D13 underscore toys, and I'm gonna have Chris on at some point to talk about all this stuff. But he's got the arc there, like tons of really cool things going on. Very thoughtful write ups of each of the figures. He has a Black Jesus. Like just really cool things. And he's not done revealing the wave yet or the, the Kickstarter project yet. So, over the next few weeks, we're going to see more of this stuff. But head over there, give a follow to D13 Toys, and check out all the really cool Biblical Adventures figures. I'm not religious really, but as an English teacher, as I consider myself a little bit of a scholar. Like, I enjoy stuff like this. I think it's really neat to have. It's essentially like almost like educational toys, So yeah, so I like stuff like this. um, he should do it in April when he shall rise. That's good. He should. Originally, he was going to do it on Easter like a year ago, and then things just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. I don't think he wants to wait that long, though. I don't remember if he said there's going to be a Middle Eastern one, because that would be technically most accurate, right? If they had a Middle Eastern, like olive skinned Jesus. What a time to be alive if you're into action figures. I do love how much passion for the Christ he has for it. Yeah, there's another one, something Legends, that's gonna be pretty overlapping in the same time. That's like they're doing the four horsemen of the apocalypse, I guess, like four figures. They're very, very different style. Yeah. Hey, thanks for like hanging out with me, guys. I'm solo and like I don't do this solo thing, so this is kind of new for me, and it might not be the most smooth, nonstop action kind of a stream, but we got 87 people in here. I'm pumped. Okay, darker skin Jesus is confirmed. Okay, so you're gonna have 3 different Jesuses. Jesus. Oh, here's an interesting question. Anyone heard from Savage Crucible? Savage Crucible lately? And yeah, here we go. Savage Crucible is going up on, wasn't the date on here? There it is, February 10th. So that's next Friday, Friday the 10th. Savage Crucible. And looks like they have a Frazetta connection here. Maybe a little Frazetta license to do something Frazetta related. So yeah, they haven't like revealed. I mean, they've been revealing things here and there for the last year, but they haven't actually like at this moment revealed any like specific like figures that are going to be in the wave, except for what's shown in this image here. Braku Prime, dude, $5 super chat. No, thank you for the content and oh no, sorry, I read that wrong. No, thank you for the content and go Birds. I have no preference. I will watch the Super Bowl and enjoy it, and I will not be jealous of the people who have their teams in the Super Bowl because I often get very stressed out when my team's in the Super Bowl. Thank you, Cyber Rat, doing a great solo. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And the Weekend Gamer, appreciate it. Joe Pearson will definitely be getting some Savage. The articulation alone has me so excited. The weapon poses and how they can hold them. And you know what's kind of cool about this? The turnaround is going to be quick, I think, because he said that he was like already doing molds and stuff, like already doing the cutting the steel and all that before. So the turnaround might be a little quicker than your typical like 2-year wait on a Kickstarter. But there's not really much to talk about here with Savage Crucible. Just that the date is set for the 10th there. Curtis with the super chat. Just doing a super chat to say you skipped my last super chat. I'll let you know how this super chat goes in my next super chat. What? Did I skip your last one? I thought I put it up. Oh, sorry. In all honesty, I plan on getting a Mezco 89 Batman from formerly Brute Scale Greg if it ever comes out. That will be my first. Greg's got extra Batmans coming. Sorry, Curtis. I went right over that. Like I said, I'm solo. I don't have Chris to like pop them up on the screen for me when I miss them and I'm looking at other stuff. But thank you so much again, Curtis, for the super chats. Yep, Animals of the Warrior Kingdom should be arriving soon. I stupidly did not end up pre-ordering those. I'm going to have to remedy that. Hopefully he'll have an in-stock sale, all right, like right when they ship out. These independent toys should partner with a shop like Big Bad like they are doing. With the Santa figures, it only gets released when it hits a goal because Kickstarters have taken people's money and dipped. Kickstarter. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. When like a Kickstarter funds and it never happens. That's happened to me before. Thankfully not on like a huge like $500 action figure order or anything like that. It was the last one that happened to me on was an art book, but yeah, that's a good point. Like I think Big Bad needs to have a Big Bad needs to have some reason to trust the company too, the independent company. Smash that like button. Thanks, Trevor. If you guys are new to the channel and you're into Mythic Legions, action figures, especially like sword and sorcery action figures, reviews, but also like breakdown videos and just general like content based on figures, please subscribe. I appreciate it. Okay. Curtis, man, too kind. He said he ordered 7. What? P.S. The last super chat went well. You're like training me. This is like my training. At least I'm getting paid to be trained here. Vats will be my first dolly as well. Well, with the seamless body, technically, does it have clothes? That's wild, man. Okay, so that's an interesting position to be in, right, Rick? Imagine your first pre-order with Mezco was 89 Batman. And I'm not telling Rick to imagine this. I'm not telling other like Mezco collectors to imagine that. Like, what a freaking weight, dude. Holy cow. Was it your last as well? Oh my God. That's brutal. Yeah. I mean, there was some kind of clue and somebody pulled up an image that maybe they thought the clue led to, or I don't know if it was just for Zeta or what, but yeah, I mean, on the thing, it says lots of details to follow in the coming days, pricing, shipping, waves, contests, Frazetta, and a lot more. So, I mean, that's just my speculation is that it's a Frazetta license. I don't know exactly what the Frazetta connection is, but what else would it be really? So yeah, so here's the thing with me. The podcaster in me becomes uncomfortable when I'm quiet. When there's like dead air, which is something I need to get used to because live streaming is different. And I know that silence is okay in a live stream, but like in a podcast, it's a little odd when it's just audio. Oh God. My first Mezco order was Mr. Freeze. Jeez. See, I'm fortunate enough to have been collecting Mezco for years prior to these 3-year waits. So there's always been things dropping before and after, and like the flow of figures has kind of haven't been happening. It's just a few are late. But when it's like the only thing you've ordered from them, that's brutal. Frenetta stuff could be Death Dealer or Dawn Attack. Um, and there, yeah, the MAFC stuff currently has the Death Dealer parts. So yeah, I wonder if they're gonna like bring some of that over. You know, reuse some of that sculpting for the Savage stuff for Death Dealer. They talked about their pricing on a live stream a while back. I feel like it was fairly comparable to Legions, like $30 figures, $40 figures, something like that. Benny, I highly recommend Mezco figures. They're great. And there's some good ones out there that are less than retail right now. Like the if you're into comics, the Wolverine, the deluxe Wolverine is still like 100, 110, and I think the retail was 150. That's a bargain. And I know some people are like, well, it was 75 at one point, so I don't want to pay over that, but it's still a great figure for $100. What do you think of the new vintage collection Darth Vader with the helmet removal? It looks great to me. I didn't really like get a close up look at the render of the head sculpt or anything like that, but it's probably going to be on the same body as the current one. This one here. This is the Dark Times Vader. I would imagine it'll be something similar to this. And this thing, the body on this thing is amazing. And then, you know, swap the head and give it the removable helmet, and probably the hand, right, is removable, I would assume. So I think it's going to be awesome. Why not? I mean, it's another character where they're just doing the same character again, but it's going to be a great figure, I'm sure. Oh, sweet. Dude, get that Wolverine, man. Take a look at that thing. Night's Watch wants to know, did anybody pre-order the Diamond Select, Lord of the Rings, Lurtz, and Boromir? Those look pretty good. I don't collect those, and I'm not going to, but those look pretty decent. And let me bring up this one here. I thought this was cool. I just wanted to, excuse me, point this one out. Mostly because I'm not because I'm a Mortal Kombat fan, but because the throne looks incredible on this. Let's see if we can find the throne. I mean, the figure looks awesome too. Like, of all the Mortal Kombat figures, like, this definitely slides better into the kinds of, you know, sword and sorcery figures I collect. But this throne is crazy. And now it's obviously going to be way big for the 6-inch Mythic Legions figures. But I think a brute scale figure, like, imagine like Tharnog sitting in that thing, or maybe even a 9-inch, like an ogre scale figure sitting on that. That throne's gonna be sick. It's pricey though, 160 for the set. I'm debating if I want to pre-order or just wait. But my thing would be, I would probably end up keeping the figure too, because it's gonna fit in well with fantasy stuff. But that throne's sick. Hey, Jesse Arnold. What's up, dude? I know. Why can't we get the throne on the own? They're selling the figure on its own. It'd be cool if they sold the throne on its own. The figure's 100, so the throne would be maybe $60 if they sold it on their own. I'd probably buy it for that. Yeah, Necronominus is a little bigger, right? Okay, you think it's not too big for standard? I don't know how big their Shao Kahn figure is. I know I thought it was pretty big. Um, Nate says he would buy it for 50, 60 bucks. Yeah, Super 7 has the the throne for King Conan, right? And they might have some other things like that. Easy buy for 60. Yeah. I will probably get this set. I don't think I'm gonna pre-order it now. I'm not gonna commit to it yet. But I think it's awesome. And I love Storm. I'm like pretty much all in on their Golden Axe figures. They're some of the best figures in my collection. I love those figures. They're awesome. And then one last thing. So on Monday, during the Legions Lounge, we were was it when we were live or was it before the show? I can't remember. But we were talking about like the Vitruvian hacks, and we were talking about what was it? It was pirates and something else. We're like, somebody should make pirates and something else. And then, oh, cowboys. Like, who's gonna do pirates? Who's gonna do the pirates? Who's gonna do cowboys? I was like, you know who's gonna probably do pirates really soon is the Vitruvian hacks. And the next day, they put up the hero hacks. Did that not work? Oh yeah, there it is. They put up the hero hacks pirate. Now these are 1/18 scale, so if you don't collect 4-inch figures, this is not of interest, but I do, and I love their figures. This is technically a Phantom character from the Phantom comics, the Sing pirate, but just as a general pirate, this thing is super sweet. I'm pre-ordering this for sure, and you can swap out heads, and you can take off the vest and do like a different look. But pretty classic looking pirate right here. This is sweet. Um, they're pricey. So Joe Pearson's asking, are they that nice or is it overpacked with accessories? It's pretty packed with accessories, and they are really nice figures. I've never when the first time I bought one, I was like, oh my God, $25 for this 4-inch figure. And then it was the two knights. It was the Knight of Asperity and the Knight of Accord at a convention. And they were actually selling them in the basement of the convention. Like that's how small Boss Fight was at the time. And I was like, damn, that's a lot. And I don't think I would have bought them if I wasn't at a convention and feeling like impulsive, But they are loaded. The paint is awesome. The figures are great. They're modular. There's tons of swapping. It's like mini Legions. And yeah, they are going to be doing 1/12 scale, right? So Epic hacks are 1/12 scale. So, assuming the skeletons do good, assuming the first wave of the Epic hacks do good, you would imagine they're going to do knights, right? They'll probably do whatever other figures like Radcliffe is saying here. The really popular ones from their Vitruvian hacks line will likely make it into the Epic hacks. I mean, I could see this pirate being scaled right up. I don't know the licensing on that because I know that the Phantom stuff is licensed, but yeah. And Boss Fight did so. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that they did the dime novel sculpts, but they also have Zorro. That's kind of like leaning towards cowboy type stuff. I can't wait for those skeletons. All right, done. Mezco Indy. I'll do it. I'll make it happen. Just wait. Just wait. Let's throw Star Wars in the mix too. All right, let me pull this down. remove that. Well, I was unable to really like keep an eye on the Facebook stuff, but it looks like Hank is here in Facebook, and Jesse's watching from Facebook, so it looks like it's still working pretty well. The stream going simultaneously to Facebook and YouTube. So going forward, I will hopefully just have that enabled each time, and yeah. Let me just see one more question here. What style era thing would you want Four Horsemen to do next? Pirates, cowboys, ninjas? I thought they've hinted at steampunk, which I think would be really cool. But of those three, I'd want to see. I probably would lean towards pirates. I think pirates would be cool. Oh God, any of those three. Probably not ninjas. So many companies are doing ninjas that I don't think I would really care. If they did ninjas, like it wouldn't be that exciting to me. But either pirates or cowboys, I think would fill a definite gap that's out there. And I like that they've mentioned steampunk. I think that would be really cool. I think we're a ways out. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm often wrong on these kinds of predictions, but I feel like with Cosmic just hitting now, we're like quite a ways out for the third Legions line. Did they ever say they'll make a huge dragon for Mythics? They said they want to. Whether or not it actually happens, I question that. Benny Torres, yes. Mezco Deluxe Tin Edition Wolverine. Shop around. You should be able to. I saw it on eBay. I was just browsing around. And I saw it on eBay today for like 110. But shop around because you should be able to get it for like 110 or less. And it's the edition that comes with the like damaged, like the Sentinel base. That's like a damaged Sentinel. Steampunk Pirates versus Cyber Cowboys. There you go. Just put it all in one. Put it all in one. A lot of people are saying steampunk. Steampunk would murder my wallet. I saw Nate saying steampunk is what he wants all the way. I think it would lean towards the things they're really good at too. But just looking at Kenox, the cyborg brute scale alien guy that's coming up, like just looking at him makes me think they would just absolutely kill it. And Benny, if you have a hard time finding a good price on it, like just message me and I'll help you find a price. Okay, there we go. And yes, quote, and yes, we plan on doing a gigantic dragon someday from the Four Horsemen site. It's a matter of, I'd love to, I would love it. I don't have anywhere to put it, but I would love it. I would be in on that so fast. A big dragon. Air Theory Rising says, Egyptian or Mongolian style is what 4-H needs to do. I also think those would be, I don't know if they would. I don't know if it's like, maybe they could do a line. I mean, maybe they could do an Egyptian character in Figura Obscura, but I'm not sure it could support a whole line. You could put a top hat on any Cosmic, and voila, you have steampunk. Wow, Benny, you're going all in, huh? 4 dragons? That's impressive. Now, I wonder if they would do multiple. Like, if they did a dragon mold and it's that big, would they offer different colors? Probably, right? And at that point, you're like, oh, man. Oh, yeah, Scarabus was Egyptian themed. Yep, there you go. That's right. But again, I don't know if they could do a whole line of that. But I think like Figura Obscura, like I think an Egyptian god would like fit perfectly in that. Oh God, This is a conversation for another time. Sir Gerard is up there for me. Sir Gerard to me is one of the best ever. It's so good. And let me think offhand. What are some other ones I really, really like? I do love Romulus. I think Romulus is one of the best ones. Already, I know it's only been a few months, but Lord Bardrick is up there for me. It's tough. That's a tough question to just like pop on someone at the end of a live stream. A wave of Greek gods. Hell yeah. And that's, like that's kind of to me, I know maybe this sounds a little cold or whatever for people who are very religious, but like to me that's similar to like the biblical line, right? Like it's this ancient lore type thing. Kickstarter and you pick the color from 4 or 5 would be cool. Yeah, that would be awesome, but I would just be tempted to buy all 5 colors. Like I'd be like, damn it, I want all 5. I wouldn't be able to get all 5, but all right, people, we're going to wind this down. I very much appreciate you all joining me on this solo trip. I'll do more. I'll do more of these impromptu ones. They're like planning the podcast is a lot of work. And so like trying to do it every week, it's more likely to go weekly if I can just like slide in with some of these impromptu ones where I don't have a huge plan and I just kind of let the thing go. And it's also nice, I think, like to just focus on the chat, because a lot of times we get caught up in the news and we get caught up in our conversations between each other that I don't pay a lot of attention to the chat. And thanks, Nate. I wanted to try it solo. I wanted to see how it would go, and I feel like it's going pretty well. So, all right, folks. I'm going to sign off. And until next time, may the force